We took action last night to stop a war. We did not take action to start a war. I have deep respect for the Iranian people. They are a remarkable people with an incredible heritage and unlimited potential. We do not seek regime change. However, the Iranian regime's aggression in the region, including the use of proxy fighters to destabilize its neighbors, must end, and it must end now.
Trump, we know, is being surrounded gradually by more and more swampish people, like Pompeo, like Lindsey Graham. The fact is that he has been given bad intelligence in the past. For example, on Syria and the chemical attack that happened in Duma in 2017, 2018, we know now from the OPCW leaks that the whole thing was a sham, and yet Trump was misled into bombing Syria over that.
The president was just speaking live. We'll get Syrian Girl's response in his first public statement about the situation with Iran. It's very important. So let's go to the president right now, then we'll go to your calls.
World, Qasem Soleimani. Soleimani was plotting imminent and sinister attacks on American diplomats and military personnel, but we caught him in the act and terminated him. Under my leadership, America's policy is unambiguous to terrorists who harm or intend to harm any American. We will find you. We will eliminate you. We will always protect our diplomats, service members, all Americans, and our allies. For years, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and its ruthless Quds Force under Soleimani's leadership has targeted, injured, and murdered hundreds of American civilians and servicemen. The recent attacks on U.S. targets in Iraq, including rocket strikes that killed an American and injured 4 American servicemen very badly, as well as a violent assault on our embassy in Baghdad, were carried out at the direction of Soleimani. Soleimani made the death of innocent people his sick passion, contributing to terrorist plots as far away as New Delhi and London. Today, we remember and honor the victims of Soleimani's many atrocities, and we take comfort in knowing that his reign of terror is over.
We're going to pause for one moment to let our Fox stations join us.
Perpetrating acts of terror to destabilize the Middle East for the last 20 years. What the United States did yesterday should have been done long ago. A lot of lives would have been saved. Just recently, Soleimani led the brutal repression of protesters in Iran, where more than 1,000 innocent civilians were tortured and killed by their own government. We took action last night to stop a war. We did not take action to start a war. I have deep respect for the Iranian people. They are a remarkable people with an incredible heritage and unlimited potential. We do not seek regime change. However, the Iranian regime's aggression in the region, including the use of proxy fighters to destabilize its neighbors, must end, and it must end now. The future belongs to the people of Iran, those who seek peaceful coexistence and cooperation, not the terrorist warlords who plunder their nation to finance bloodshed abroad. The United States has the best military by far anywhere in the world. We have the best intelligence in the world. If Americans anywhere are threatened, we have all of those targets already fully identified, and I am ready and prepared to take whatever action is necessary. And that in particular refers to Iran. Under my leadership, we have destroyed the ISIS territorial caliphate. And recently, American Special Operations Forces killed the terrorist leader known as al-Baghdadi. The world is a safer place without these monsters. America will always pursue the interests of good people, great souls, while seeking peace, harmony, and friendship with all of the nations of the world. Thank you. God bless you. God bless our great military, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. President, you say
All right. Clearly, it's about the fact that the Islamic regime is very unpopular and there is an attempt to overthrow it by the people. And folks want that to happen. And Trump does not want a Shiite-Sunni civil war starting. They let the Iranians go in with the Russians, and that's who mainly did most of the work. So when Trump's talking about taking out al-Qaeda and ISIS, I love our military, but it was Russia and the Iranians. Now the Iranians, though, are like, hey, we're going to take everything else over. We're not stopping. And so in Trump's view and why he made the decision, as I predicted, it's why he did it. They said, sir, he's going to keep expanding just like ISIS, so you have to stop him too. So Trump said, I took action to stop a war. Now let's see if he can control the neocons and the deep staters from that. Because once you feed the pirate, it's going to want more and more. But I do think they came, just like Syrian Girl said, and said, sir, he's a bad guy. He does all this. You can show him at public executions, hanging people and stuff. And Trump said, well, get that guy. And because he's a real personal type guy. He doesn't want to just kill random troops. Oh, you want me to kill the head of something? I'll do that. So that's my view. And Syrian Girl, your response to what you just saw the President Trump say.
I was more interested in what he didn't say. What was missing in his speech was any mention of al-Qaeda and the leader of al-Qaeda, al-Jawlani, which is still in Syria's Idlib. You know, we're being told that he needed to really kill this guy, but what about the guy that he really needs to kill, you know, the people that we were told are responsible for 9/11? So it's because that guy is currently fighting Assad, and the deep state doesn't want him removed. They don't want al-Qaeda to be removed. And actually, The Guardian translated one of the leader of al-Qaeda's speeches recently. So that was, you know, very interesting. But yet they're killing the people who are fighting ISIS. And I do have to say, you know, the fact is that the Shiites already took over everything in Iraq since 2003. They already had everything. So, but that was the point of the Iraq War, because they told us that the Shiites were the majority, and Saddam was, you know, had a Sunni, who was a Sunni, and he was leading a Sunni minority, and that's why we have to flip it over to them. And they indeed the deep state wanted a civil war, and that's why then in 2004 the U.S. ambassador wrote a constitution that federalized and carved up the country. They wanted a civil war. So, not to mention, you remember when they set up those explosives and they pretended that they were dressed up as terrorists while they were setting it up, the British in Basra.
No, that's right. But I mean, Trump's being told, though, he's going to stop a civil war. So he thinks he's stopping the previous policy of civil war, but you think he's being set up.
I'm very confused as to how this could stop a civil war. Like, this has nothing to do with anything to do with civil war. But Trump, we know, is being surrounded gradually by more and more swampish people, like Pompeo, like Lindsey Graham. You know, the fact is that he has been given bad intelligence in the past. For example, on Syria and the chemical attack that happened in Duma in 2017, 2018, we know now from the OPCW leaks that the whole thing was a sham, and yet Trump was misled into bombing Syria over that. That scene that you're being shown right now, it has been proven to be those
it's
kids.
now confirmed that it was a fake false flag. You're absolutely right. Stay there. I want you to ride shotgun with me, and I promise, if the hair didn't rise over Bear Creek, that's a combination of the hair lips, the Admiral, and the water doesn't rise over Bear Creek. Very politically incorrect. I apologize. We're going to go to Carlos. We're going to go to Peter. We're going to go to Gary. We're going to Tony, Mosh, Wildman, Baldy, Josh. I promise you, bam, 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 get ready. I'm going as your calls came in on the other side with Syrian Girl. Stay with us. Danny in Oregon. Danny, thanks for holding.
Hey, Alex. Good to talk to you, man.
Good to talk to you, brother.
It's been heck of a time trying to get a hold of you, man.
Well, you're here, brother. Here it is.
Forces of evil did not want me to get a hold of you. I've been trying for weeks. So just want to say I just recently got the 8-pack Power Stack.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, I was on antidepressants. You know, I'd always been really against that stuff, and I got to a really low point, and, you know, I let them convince me that, hey, you know, it's worth a shot. And, you know, I decided when I got the 8-pack Power Stack that I was going to drop the antidepressants and just trust in the, you know, natural formulas. And I'll be honest, for about 2 or 3 days, you know, I felt really tired. My head hurt a lot. But once I got through that, about 2 or 3 days, felt just tremendously better. You know, just a miracle. So I want to thank you for that.
8-pack Power Stack is 13 pills. You take it in the morning and the evening that covers everything. And yeah, when your body is using toxic things in its metabolic actions, because it'll use whatever it has, then when that good stuff comes in and pushes it out, that's why I've warned people that these products aren't fillers. These aren't jokes. X2, X3, 8-pack Power Stack. These are not games. I want people to hear this because this is exactly what happens with real things that people need.
The 8-pack Power Stack, I take the X2 and X3, kind of interchange them, you know, every other couple days just to get the different formulas and different types of iodine formulas in my system. I've got the toothpaste. I've got the new whitening toothpaste, cutting out all fluoride, and, you know, the combination, just trying to make as much of a healthy turn in my life, and I work out every day, all at once.
InfoWarsStore.com, and that's how we fund our operation, at 888-253-3139. Whatever the products are, Turbo Force, Brain Force, the Vaso Beats are back in stock, all of it. InfoWarsStore.com, that's how we fund ourselves. Oh, by the way, all the orders get a bunch of free bumper stickers.